Long shadows crept across the desert scrub near Sedona, where the sun had dipped behind the crimson cliffs. Inside a quiet holiday rental, Kody Brown sat alone, his face dimly lit by the flicker of a television he wasn't watching and the pale glow from a laptop screen. The once vibrant energy in his golden curls had faded to silver, a sign of the wait time had placed on him. For 3 days, he had withdrawn. No texts, no calls, not even to his children or to Mary or Janelle. When a TLC producer called about a potential farewell interview for the show, Kody hung up without a word. Now surrounded by scattered paperwork and sipping a drink, Kody hovered over the Go Live button. His voice cracked through the silence. "I'm not doing this for fame or money," he said, voice rough and low. "I'm doing it because someone has to tell the truth." Thousands tuned in within minutes. Many assumed it was a publicity stunt. Others watched with curiosity. But as Kody spoke, first carefully, then with the fervor of a man unraveling, viewers could feel the weight of what he carried. He spoke of betrayal, of choices he couldn't take back, of things hidden in plain sight. Then he began showing documents, excerpts from old journals, financial statements, text messages. A line scribbled 5 years ago sent a chill through viewers. She asked me to trust her. I signed everything. Meanwhile, Janelle sat alone in her North Carolina home, wrapped in a flannel robe. The glow of her phone lit her face as the internet erupted. She hadn't expected this, not this way. Kody had always been intense, but this was scorched earth. When her mother passed, Janelle had been vulnerable. Robyn had offered help with estate paperwork. "Let me take care of this. You don't need this right now," she had said. Janelle, in grief, had agreed. A year later, Janelle discovered that something had gone wrong. Her signature was on legal documents, but it wasn't her handwriting. The silence she had maintained for years shattered like glass. She quietly booked a spot on a small, trusted podcast, and she told her story. About hidden transactions, emotional manipulation, and choices she never consented to. She wasn't interested in revenge, only truth. Across state lines, Mary Brown lit a single candle at Lizzie's Heritage Inn in Parowan, Utah. The flickering light caught her in stillness. For years, she had accepted the role written for her: first wife, loyal supporter, misunderstood outsider. She opened a manila envelope she had long kept hidden. Unsent letters to the other wives, handwritten notes from the set, and one audio file. In it, a producer referred to Robyn as the anchor character around whom the show revolved. Mary had always suspected it. Now she had proof. Inside a sprawling Flagstaff house, Robyn Brown's world felt smaller than ever. She hadn't left the home in 2 days. Friends, producers, even her sister had tried calling. She ignored them. Standing before a mirror, she whispered, "I was trying to keep us together." She believed that. She had built the family structure, brick by emotional brick. But now she could hear the cracks. And behind a locked cabinet, she retrieved a flash drive. "This is the moment," she said quietly. The Brown children, once hidden behind blurred faces in early episodes, now found their voices. One by one, Leon, Garrison, Mykelti, Peyton, and even Dayton began sharing memories. Letters returned unopened. Missed birthdays, silent years. They hosted a virtual roundtable and spoke openly. The footage leaked, and with it came questions, serious ones. Talks of legal inquiries began. Advocacy groups contacted the children. Analysts now viewed the family as a case study in the cost of long-term reality television. In the aftermath of the live stream, Kody disappeared from the public eye. Rumors placed him at a wellness retreat. Some claimed he had left the country altogether. Robyn hired a crisis PR firm. Cease and desist letters began hitting media outlets. TLC scrubbed merchandise and archived episodes. Streaming services began quietly removing the show. Miri's memoir, Behind the Porch Light, hit the market early after a leaked chapter caught fire online. It began with a single haunting question: what happens when love becomes a lens, and you can't see what's real anymore? Janelle remained grounded. Her new life in North Carolina, close to her daughter Maddie and grandkids, thrived. She launched Tida Farms, a flower business, and built her dream home on 156 acres of land. The past didn't define her anymore. It shaped her, but it didn't own her. Robyn, meanwhile, struggled with public perception. Criticisms mounted over how she managed her now-defunct online business. Customers were frustrated. Robyn, in response, blamed website glitches. But the damage to her image was done. And still,
Janelle and Miri
began working together to dissolve the remaining legal structures of the Brown family's shared estate. They no longer wanted to salvage the past. They were ready to move forward. A documentary is in early production stages. The working title, House of Truth: The Untold Story of Sister Wives. The Brown family wasn't a TV show anymore.
Last confession.
It was a reckoning. Janelle Brown's breaking point ends a dynasty. The spring air in North Carolina was cool and damp, drifting through the open windows of Janelle Brown's new homestead. Morning mist curled over the distant foothills, and a robin chirped from the porch railing, oblivious to the media firestorm swirling around the woman inside. Janelle sat at her kitchen table, laptop open, microphone checked, camera angled. Her hands trembled slightly, not with fear, but purpose. She was going live in 10 minutes. For over a decade, she had been the steady one, the grounded one, the one who smiled through chaos, built greenhouses in the desert, and raised 6 children with quiet resolve while the world watched. But now the world would finally hear her truth. Not an edited TLC storyline, not a confessional shaped by producers, but her voice, uninterrupted. Her phone buzzed with a final message from her oldest daughter. "Mom, no turning back now. We love you." She clicked Start Broadcast. I stayed silent for too long. Janelle's voice was even, but each word landed with weight. She wore a pale blue shirt and no makeup, her blonde hair pulled back. No glam, no filter. She spoke for 48 uninterrupted minutes. About how her financial independence had been eroded under the guise of family unity. About how she signed on to land deals that were later transferred without her full knowledge. About how her name had appeared on LLCs she didn't remember authorizing. But the biggest reveal came at the 35-minute mark. I found an email thread, Janelle said, holding up her phone. It was between Kody and one of the producers. They were planning a financial consolidation storyline that never aired. In it, Robyn was described as the trusted point of contact. Kody agreed to shift assets into a trust she controlled without informing the rest of us. Screenshots followed. Viewers froze the frames. Thousands of comments flooded in. Then came the second shock. I confronted Kody a few months ago. I asked him if he truly believed Robyn was being honest about the money. And you know what he said. Janelle leaned closer to the camera, her eyes wet but unwavering. He said, I think Robyn is a pathological liar, but it's too late to prove it. Across the country in Flagstaff, Kody Brown watched the live stream in stunned silence. He hadn't spoken to Janelle in nearly a year. In recent months, his once defensive posture had begun to fracture. His energy was different, slower, dulled. Robyn claimed he was suffering from emotional exhaustion, but their arguments had become louder and more frequent, according to neighbors. Now Kody stood in his living room, face pale. He hadn't expected her to go public. Not like this. But he couldn't deny it. He had said those words. And somehow, Janelle had recorded them. TLC responded within hours. A terse press release dropped late that afternoon. Due to recent developments and the evolving public nature of private matters, Sister Wives will not be returning for another season. We wish all members of the Brown family peace and privacy moving forward. It was over. 17 seasons, hundreds of episodes, millions of viewers. Canceled with a single paragraph. Backlash was immediate. Fans demanded clarity. Old clips were reanalyzed with fresh eyes. Reddit lit up with timelines, allegations, and side-by-side comparisons of Robyn's financial claims. Viewers recalled the infamous separate bank account argument, the broken promises of shared land on Coyote Pass, the mysteriously shuttered jewelry business. And then the whistleblower emerged. A former production assistant from seasons 15 to 18 anonymously shared an audio file. In it, Robyn allegedly asked producers to reframe the narrative around the land division because viewers don't need to know what's really going on. She referred to Mary and Janelle as optics to make the family seem functional. The audio was damning. Robyn retreated from quietly went offline. Her social media was deactivated. One friend said she was devastated and blindsided. Another claimed she was threatening legal action against TLC for failing to control the leak. Inside their Flagstaff mansion, tensions reached a boiling point. Kody, once the confident patriarch, was a shell of himself. He refused to speak to the media, but an unnamed source close to him claimed he had hired a forensic accountant. He wants to know what happened to all the money, the source said. He thinks he was manipulated by the one person he trusted most. Meanwhile, Mary spoke softly, but with fire. In a brief Instagram video, Mary lit a single candle. "This isn't a victory," she said. "It's a release." She confirmed that Janelle's revelations were consistent with her own experiences. "I stayed because I believed in something bigger than myself. But the truth is, I was also afraid of losing my identity, my home, my narrative." She paused, then added, "Janelle told the truth, and she did it with grace." The Brown children began to speak out. Gabriel shared a heart-wrenching post about being emotionally cut off from his father. Gwendolyn uploaded a reaction video, watching Janelle stream with raw emotion. "This is the closure we never thought we'd get," she said, wiping tears. Even Leon posted a brief, pointed message. "Truth doesn't need permission." Fans began calling for a documentary, and one was already in the works. Browned Out, The Fall of a Polygamist Empire was the working title. Netflix reportedly reached out to Janelle with a 7-figure offer for exclusive rights to her story. She declined. Instead, she partnered with a small, female-led production company. "This isn't about money," she said. "It's about legacy." And what of Kody Brown? Once hailed as the charismatic leader of a bold lifestyle, he now found himself adrift. He issued a brief statement via a local reporter. "I regret many things. I believed in a vision, and I lost sight of the people. I don't know who to trust anymore." It was unclear whether he included Robyn in that statement. Insiders claimed he was considering selling the Flagstaff house. He had begun therapy. And most shockingly, he had not seen Robyn in over 2 weeks. Janelle, however, was just beginning her next chapter. She started a foundation, Roots and Wings, dedicated to helping women exit coercive or manipulative relationships, especially within high-control family systems. She gave interviews, but never sensationalized her story. "It's not about blame," she told Good Morning America. "It's about accountability." She purchased 30 acres of farmland outside Asheville, where she now grows heirloom vegetables and teaches workshops on sustainable living. Maddie and her children visit weekly. A life once built on TV contracts and shared husband schedules was now rooted in soil, sunlight, and peace. As for the legacy of Sister Wives, its final season became the most watched in franchise history. But no reunion aired. No last confessionals. Just a quiet, abrupt end, like a door closing with finality. In the end, Janelle had always been the quiet one, the practical one, the peacemaker. But when she finally spoke, the truth echoed louder than anyone expected. And the world listened.